G'day fellow Christian of the internet, this is must see and subscribe Argonian here on YouTube / online ambassador Black Marsh, Bruzo Dragonius. You know, until now, and when Ascending Tide comes out, which I believe is this Tuesday coming, as this video coming out, lately I've been thinking of some ideas of what videos that I wanted to do and all that kind of stuff. And even though that the last video that I uploaded, which is the war in the Ukraine, I just want to do something more positive and all that kind of stuff. You know, just bring some positive topics and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just thinking, well, I just want to open up a can of worms. And I'm just curious on to finding out if you have $1 million, or if you say won a lottery and you become one of the most wealthiest people in the world, what would you buy, to be honest? Especially if you were a furry and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you know, maybe that you might want to buy your dream car and all that kind of stuff. Maybe a house. Even though that right now in Australia, owning a home, unless that you've inherited a home from someone like as your family, or if you win a raffle and all that kind of stuff, then the dream of owning an own home in Australia is nothing but a dream. It'll never come true, unfortunately, even though they would love to own a house someday and all that kind of stuff. Mortgage free, rent free, and all that kind of stuff. But I know that it's not going to happen anyway. In fact, most of our lives, because of the housing prices, inflated and all that kind of stuff, with the interest rates and all that jazz, well, I think that it's really impossible. So I'm going to be renting for all my entire life, because I don't know who else owns a home, or something like that in my family. But today I'm talking about, well, what furry related things I would do. You know, if I have $1 million, what furry related things I would do and buy. And the thing about it is that I'm just going to open it, you know, you're more than welcome to comment this, you know, your ideas and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just more of a discussion thing, more than a list and all that kind of stuff. I just want you to comment, what furry related items would you do and would you buy? I'll probably go first in this video. So anyway, let me start first. If I, for instance, win the Powerball and all that kind of stuff, mind you that this topic is stolen. You know, this video idea had been stolen by Owen Wolf. Sorry, not sorry. The first thing that I want to do, if I end up having, you know, if money isn't really a concern, you know, if I end up becoming wealthy, is, well, I probably would buy a couple of fursuits and all that kind of stuff, like what all furries do anyway. Whether it's just an update, probably a new version of Bruzo and all that kind of stuff, you know, because I know for sure this thing ain't gonna last forever. I must admit, you know, it's all going to be wear and tear and all that kind of stuff. So I would think, well, I would love to go for a tokusatsu style fursuit of Bruzo and all that kind of stuff, like with all latex and all rubber with all the real scales, more realistic and all that kind of stuff. Either from Orochi or Temperance, even though I love her work and all that kind of stuff, the dragons and all that kind of stuff. You know, they are really amazing and all that kind of stuff. So I would love to end up getting a commission off her for that, for Bruzo, just for another updated version and all that kind of stuff. Probably a full body suit or something like that. Either that or Golden Mall. Even though I love their Argonian and all that kind of stuff. Or perhaps from Zenimax fursuits. Just to give Blurby a challenge on with her making an Argonian and all that kind of stuff, you know, because I haven't seen, like, you know, I've seen that she is amazing and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, I just thought, well, you know, I have no set makers or whatever that I do want, you know, for Bruzo and all that kind of stuff. Even though that I'm just doing it in fursuit and all that kind of stuff. Not only that, but I've also got, as you know, a solderoo called 4X. You probably would notice that 4X is a solderoo themed after an Australian bee called 4X Gold. You know, it just really suits the themes and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to get like a full digigrade or perhaps, well, probably an anatomically correct fursuit of 4X, you know, with the... I don't know what I'm going to do with the long feet that kangaroos have, but, you know, I'm just more into the anatomically correctness, not the toony style and all that kind of stuff. And I've seen a lot of fursuits that are like that, you know? Or perhaps maybe a toony style of 4X, just with the slim digigrade type style with a pouch. And I know that only female kangaroos have a pouch, but, you know, 4X pretty much would be known as probably non-binary or gender neutral, so just to make that, you know, with the law and all that kind of stuff. And as for 4X, I've been nominating a lot of makers just for him. I would like to have Sparky, have him as a Sparky can do suit, as I really do adore her work and she's really amazing and all that kind of stuff. Even though that she does charge, like she does seem to auction off the slots with the commissions and all that kind of stuff. If I do have that much money, I probably would be more competitive and get in that spot, you know, and get Sparky to make 4X for me and all that kind of stuff as a digigrade fursuit. If not Sparky, then there's some other makers that I really do think that would do justice to 4X. For instance, I really do love Lazy Loop. You know, I adore her suits and that, and I think that, well, Lazy Loop do the job just as well as Sparky. And also my friend Sky of Sky High Studios and all that kind of stuff. Just to give her a bit of a go. Or probably the Menagerie costume as well. Even though that with the Menagerie TMC, I mean, they do really amazing suits and all that kind of stuff. And their fursuits are built to last, you know, with their tests and all that kind of stuff. And even though that with Sky, like, you know, she improved a lot, you know. Yeah, they do charge a lot of money in that, but they really do deserve it, you know. With these makers, they deserve to charge whatever they want just for a fursuit from them, especially a commission. I do have another lot of characters and all that kind of stuff. Especially with that I do have an Umbreon character that I would love to you know, do an update on, because, you know, even though that Umbreon is just donated to me by a cosplayer, just to get that, you know, just to get that experience and all that kind of stuff when it comes to fursuiting and that. So maybe in the future I might just start, you know, just have that. Just to do probably another update, because, you know, probably make him as more of a digigrade suit, you know, most likely with the Umbreon. Not to mention that I have different forms of Bruzo that I would love to even get my hands on as well. Especially with my atomic nuclear form, which as you see in some of my videos that I did sort of achieved and all that kind of stuff. Even though that it's going to be so much complicated because of all the new materials and all that kind of stuff. Not to mention the LEDs. I mean, it'll be great to have an LED suit of Bruzo, especially, you know, especially if I were to look like that I'm just glowing in the his skin type ability and all that kind of stuff. Also, sticking to fursuit and that, I would like to someday have a VR chat model of Bruzo and that. like, I think it would be great just to have my own model of Bruzo, just to go around different worlds, you know, because I don't want Bruzo to be restricted to only Elder Scrolls on PS4. I want everyone to meet Bruzo like on VR chat and all that kind of stuff, you know. So to do that, I know there are a lot of 3D artists and all that kind of stuff charges a lot of money and all that. So yeah, which I do agree that it would be a lot. You know, it'll take a lot of effort and time, and it's very, very complicated. You know, even with the more details that you put in the character, you know, I heard it's very expensive, and no wonder why that people do charge it heaps, especially if you like becoming even a face rig model, you know. I would like to have a face rig model of Bruzo, so I don't have to, you know, just go into this camera and all that kind of stuff, you know, even in very hot days and all that kind of stuff, especially in the Australian heat anyway. But I think before that, even though it's not necessarily furry related, you know, you can just say, well, you can do VR chat on a desktop computer like on a laptop. Yes, I know that. But before I get VR chat, I want to get a PC computer, like a fully built gaming PC, not just a laptop. And with it, I want to get myself a virtual reality headset, or, you know, a VR rig, because what's good with VR chat, you know, if you don't have a VR headset, you know, I mean, just for the full experience, right? So that's just something that I would love to get, that is not furry related, but more so gaming related. I might just do another video on that topic and all that kind of stuff. Spoiler alert, the gaming PC is what I would want to get with the VR headset. Now, there's a lot of artists that I do like as well that I would love to spend my money on. And I do respect that most of these artists and that, you know, I want to get more art of Bruzo and that. Either be badges or, you know, or probably would challenge someone to, you know, do art for me and that. Just paint them and all that kind of stuff. And I know that there's some artists that I do like that overcharges and all that kind of stuff. And to be quite frank with you, they deserve every right to. And I'm talking about one of my favourite artists, Twilight Saint. As I really do love their work, you know. And I just thought, well, maybe I'll just get like either an artwork from Twilight Saint, just either of a badge or an icon or whatever, because I really do love their work. I would love at this one stage, I would love to get a ref sheet from them and all that kind of stuff, but I got a ref sheet from Bioflux. I don't know. I know it's no longer Bioflux, but she goes in a different name. I'm not quite sure. I'll just put a name down there just to show you who did my ref sheet and all that kind of stuff thing. I think it's only Jackal, I think. Maybe I just put their name on there. But, however, not all of these things that I want to get would be very selfish, you know, or self-indulgent things, because I want to bring back to the furry community and all that kind of stuff as well, you know. So I'm just thinking, well, there's no furry conventions here in Newcastle. In fact, the closest furry convention here in New South Wales, or or perhaps in New South Wales, is now Aurora. And I'm just thinking, well, Newcastle may have meets and all that kind of stuff, but they don't have any costume conventions, not even cosplay conventions, not even Comic Cons and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of sad, to be honest, but, you know. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that I would probably contribute to the furry fandom and to contribute to also the local economy of my hometown of Newcastle. So I'm just thinking this. I think, bear with me, I think that would be a very good idea to bring back to the local economy of Newcastle, you know, my hometown, Newcastle, New South Wales, and contribute something to the furry fandom as well, be it as the Australian furry fandom or the furry fandom around the world, is that I would love to someday, I'm not confident on how I'm going to run a furry convention, but I would love to have a furry convention or run a furry convention here in Newcastle. As in here in Newcastle, New South Wales. And I'm talking about probably either down, there's a hotel down Nobbies, you know, that I got my eye on and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just thinking these places would be divine for furries to go in and all that kind of stuff. And that is the thing that I would love to see happen. You know, just have a furry convention here in Newcastle. And not only that, but if there is a furry convention, I'm just thinking, well, and I know this thing will cost money because of all the equipment, the logistics part, you know, the hotel costs and all that kind of stuff, plus all the other supplies and all that kind of crap. You know, most furry conventions, you need to rent out the entire hotel, even for big ones like Furdo. And I've also got a good name to call it, a good name to call it. And for this convention, I would call it simply as Hunter City Furry Convention. As an acronym for Hunter City Furry Convention, HCFC. Now, you would have think, well, I'm going to bring back HCFC, right? Even though that when HCFC is still around, it was in Sydney. The last one that ever happened was in the Northern Beaches. And its full name is Harbour City FurCon. Because of the fact being is that I don't know any other name to call it. I mean, seeing that Newcastle is a part of Hunter, why not name a furry convention after the region of New South Wales this city's on? So that's what I think, well, Hunter City FurCon. And I would love to see that happen someday. So I would probably bring back to contribute to the furry fandom, you know, and bring back to the local economy, you know, bringing more money into the local economy, you know, with all the businesses down there. You know, there's some really amazing businesses, amazing eateries and all that kind of stuff. Really good cafes up Derby Street, you know, the furries could just catch a bus over and all that kind of stuff. You know, plenty of public transport, you know, more frequent. Even though that to get to most of Newcastle you need to catch a train, but I just think that would be a really good idea. So enough with that. So yeah, I probably would bring back the HGFC and just rename it as Hunter City FurCon. And so maybe then I might just hire someone to be a part of it, you know. Probably would get the chair for the original HCFC, Captain Order, to help me run it and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's what I'd like to see happen. And that brings me to a conclusion because I tend to babble on about it. So anyway, you're more than welcome to also comment what do you think about these ideas, especially a furry convention here in Newcastle. Even though I would love to see it happen, but even though that's one furry convention, it would take a lot of effort and a lot of money and a lot of people and resources and all that kind of stuff, you know, and a lot of timing and all that kind of stuff. And not to mention that a lot of media related work as well, you know, with the media. Because, you know, most events, you know, you probably might need to get the locals to be aware of it. So, you know, just in case they're very curious about it, you know. So anyway, what do you think of this idea, especially with the furry convention that I would love to put together and all that kind of stuff? If I do have a lot of money, like, you know, with the what if. Also, if you do like this video, make sure you leave this video a thumbs up. You are more than welcome. In fact, I encourage you to please subscribe to this channel, because if you do subscribe to this channel, you do me a lot. You do me a favor. You know, you have no idea how appreciative I am of you if you subscribe to this channel. Especially if you watch this channel, you know, because of the YouTube algorithm, you know. You know, so thank you for watching this video to the end. I love you all. If you want to friend me on PSN or play me on PSN, whatever, look out for my gamer tag of Bruzo21. And to be the first person to know, once you're a subscriber, is to press the ring icon. Smash that bell icon so you can be the first one to know. The dibblies are down below, especially with the with my social medias and ways to give me money. It's also down there below. And as always, this is a must-see and subscriber going here on YouTube, Bruzo Dragonius, saying thank you so much for watching this to the end. And until next time, may the hits guide you all, and bye for now.